Oh, hello there. Give me a second, please. Fine, I'll get to the review. Just stay tuned, please. Sorry I didn't get this review out any sooner. On Friday I was doing a job, and when I was done with that job I just wanted to come home and watch Shakugan no Shana. See, there's Shana right now. Isn't she really cool? The answer is yes, by the way. She is cool. So welcome everyone to the Ghost Recon Future Soldier review. Now, to get to the review, let's start with the plot. Now when I wanted to get this game, I thought, if this is written by Tom Clancy, and Tom Clancy is a book writer, then there must be a really good plot. I was wrong. I'm gonna say it. You know why? So, what's the story exactly? There is very little story. First off, there are 4 characters. There's Hunter, Ghost Led, 30K, Kozak. I had trouble remembering his names as these characters have so little, dialogue that it's hard to remember either of them. I don't even know which ghost I ever play, as I'm just one of the ghosts. I think it's Kozak, but I don't know. Well, also, there aren't that many cutscenes. There are a few cutscenes that are like 30 seconds, 1 minute in between each level, but that's not much. You'll get a briefing on what the mission is, but there's not really significant character development or any character at all. Oh, now there's plenty of character, actually. Like these guys are interesting guys. But we don't know that much about them. There's no real dialogue. And throughout the story mode, whenever I thought there was going to be some sort of plot twist, there wasn't. There were very few plot twists. And when there were, it ended up being kind of pain, really. So basically, the story is that there is an evil conspiracy in the Russian government to take over Russia, and presumably the rest of the world. That's the story. I personally feel like the game is sequel baiting, as I presume the game focused more along the lines of using the Kinect than playing. You don't need to use the Kinect. Like, you can just use a standard control. But I assume there are people who tried it, and then they finished doing that and want to do something fun. So I haven't used the Kinect mode, but I just used the controller because I felt like it. Now, also I don't have Kinect, other than my Xbox One Kinect. I don't think this would be a fun game to use on a Kinect, though, if you have Kinect. The word Kinect was heard over 2 times. I'd say 4 times. Maybe 5. But so the levels themselves are not very interesting. And there are some levels in the Arctic, the desert, city area. But a lot of them are really kind of a pain. Why? 'Cause there are now, the IGN review told me that you would choose how you entered through a level. You could either go full-on assault or try to go stealth-like. Here's the issue. That is not completely true. There were many times where I felt like I had no choice but to go all out fighting. And there are certain sections of levels where you are not allowed to be caught. Yes. If you get caught once, even if they just find the dead body, and it says engaged, but you instantly kill the guy, who have not seen you but have found the dead body, they he'll restart you back at your last checkpoint, which is so annoying. He can kill the enemies, but as soon as they find the enemies that are dead, it's like they're psychic or something, and they'll know where I am. And my AI, he will just go in fighting them, considering they've been caught. But I feel like if you didn't do that, then they wouldn't catch you. Who I'm not so sure about that. As the AI seem to have a psychic ability where even when you're cloaked, as soon as they find the dead body, they find you, which is kind of annoying. It's also really annoying to not have choices, you know? I'd rather be able to choose how to proceed. Now, I mostly go stealth anyway, as stealth is a lot more fun, and once you get the hang of it, then this game is not, in my opinion, and I prefer to just stealth it. That shooting things is not really in my cup of tea. Just kidding. Really? Yeah, I do like the shooting aspect. I would just, well, you know. But my problem is the limitations. I'd rather not have any limitation. It's like, don't get caught is not fun for me. Yes, because I'd rather choose. Oh, it's not annoying unless I have a choice. It wouldn't be as if I didn't have it. Well, if I had a choice, then as soon as I got caught, well, what am I going to do? I'd just go in guns blazing again. But no, as soon as I get caught, I'm sent back to the checkpoint. These sections don't come up often, and I assume they were implemented to force people who just want to go in guns a-blazing to not go in guns a-blazing. Which, personally, I don't think that's a good idea, as that makes people complain. Choices are what people like, and if you take away those choices, they're not going to be happy. But there's also the graphics in the game are not too amazing. There are plenty of good-looking areas and stuff, but they also have plenty of bland-looking areas. And the music in the game, well, it's good actually. There isn't a lot of music, but when it is, and there is plenty of good music. You know. Next comes the controls. The controls are pretty standard, except it's had some nuances into it, like there is a first-person mode if you click the right joystick, so this will help you aim, if you know what I mean. The D-pad, which isn't very good, it allows you to do things like switch between what kind of grenade you're using, or if you want to use the drone, which is my preferred use, as the drone allows me to order my teammates to attack certain enemies. So, I don't need to do anything, since I'm a bad aim. And these enemies aren't that easy to hit, you know. There's also the mechanic where you can move to a cover automatically, which is actually quite useful when you think about it. I just didn't feel right about it at first, as it felt more like the game was playing rather than I did, but I got adapted to it. Another thing that was odd is that the run button is now the A button. Your movements are not very big in this game. It's just walking around, cover, shoot. But also the bottom button, or the down button on the D-pad, that I believe uses like your special visor thing, where you can like use X-ray or heat vision. And so there's some useful stuff. I kind of like the mechanics with your AI teammate. It's because while it felt kind of like I wasn't really playing at first, I really like the drone mechanic. Also, wow, these levels try to mix things up with this walker tank thingy that fires rockets and stuff. To be honest, I would rather just keep shooting like normal. I don't want like the mammoth. I don't remember what it's called. I played that level a long time ago, but I remember it very, very well. Well, I just want to shoot my enemies, or in the game anyways, or order my teammates to shoot them. And I don't really feel very much for firing rockets with a machine that is incredibly slow, by the way. So the controls are well done. And I could give the gameplay a 9 out of 10, just to keep knowing. The voice acting is also really good. And this story mode stuff does not have a lot of boss battles. They're basically either a tank that keeps going in circles or an enemy. And these aren't very challenging in ways, So, the bosses aren't very interesting. They're pretty good though, but I just prefer not to have bosses at all if possible. But if there were any, this is a futuristic sort of game, not very futuristic, but somewhat. So couldn't there be like some sort of robot? Like maybe a wall that has turrets or something, and the turrets would keep going out and into the wall to fire from different angles, something like that. It was like a part of a Lego game, really. But I don't want to talk about that. But so there aren't a lot of bosses. And the story mode isn't very well. There are also two other modes, of course, which I assume the focus was for these other modes. Now, the main story does have multiplayer, which would be good, except I find that this game isn't very playable on story mode as, yeah, it would be fun a bit, but if you're serious about getting through the game, it's not very fun. As having humans rather than AI, well, it could be fun, isn't very useful, as I've had to target enemies and I'm not very good at it. I haven't played multiplayer with friends because I don't have a lot of friends that come over from my house, and I don't know if this is local, so. Anyway, then there is guerrilla mode, or guerrilla warfare. This is basically horde mode. You've seen me play it before, and to be honest, it's not very good. Now, playing it by myself isn't very fun, because an enemy could come either from my back, or from my front, or my side. So, it was basically caught in the middle. Well, and not very able to do much. Yes, I know I'm not doing grammar well, but my throat is a bit gunky. I'm just trying to get this review out, so keep patient. We're almost done. Now the best part of the game. The multiplayer. Oh, the multiplayer. This multiplayer is fun. You saw me play a match, or at least 5 minutes of match, because I entered into the match late. And it was fun. And I enjoy it. Though it's not always fun, it usually is. And sometimes there's some lag, but otherwise it's a great experience. There's also the ability to customize your own soldier, and you have 2 or 3 starters. There's Scout, Engineer, and Rifleman. My favorite is Rifleman. And second favorite would be Engineer. Least favorite would be Scout. Now, I believe you can earn more classes over time, and now you don't have a variety of weapons to choose from. The customization options for these weapons are really good. My personal pick for a weapon would be to have good control and maneuverability. But you can change the pieces of the weapon and probably turn a completely different weapon. I changed a machine gun into a semi-automatic machine gun, which took me a second to get adapt to, but it was really useful for me as I prefer semi-automatics, as you have better aiming. So, multiplayer is tons of fun. And so, I believe that's everything. I got the music, the graphics, the story, the gameplay. Oh, the voice acting is really good, but it's also really annoying because your teammates or your AI teammates never shut up when you get into combat. So, that kind of puts the voice acting lower. The levels are not very good. There are a few good ones, and the last one isn't very good either. Whereas there's one section where you have to get your targets. Kill the enemy targets. But But before you can do that, you must go through a cutscene where you have a clear image of your targets and could kill them instantly, but you can't because there's reasons. And then you have to chase after them, and if they get too far away, you lose. Not too difficult, except you have to deal with their army of mooks while you go through. So I died several times trying to get through, until I got lucky, or the game decided to be merciful. Well, it did somewhat cinematic near the end, and as I was put into an auto movement where I basically just have to fire, anyways. So I will tell you the ratings. Graphics, 1 out of 2. Music, 2 out of 3. Story, 3 out of 5. There were some good parts, but the story was not much. Gameplay, 9 out of 10. Voice acting, 1 out of 10. 1 out of 2. Levels, 3 out of 10. Bosses, 2 out of 8, as the tanks and stuff were actually somewhat enjoyable, but there weren't a lot of boss battles. And replayability is a 5 out of 10. And the overall score is 26 out of 50. Now, if you excuse me...
Say